in your ability to do the job. And it's reflecting on your president.
Congressman,
conservatives agree, liberal Democrats agree that it really is time for a fresh start, and I would urge you to consider that.
Some tough words from Texas Congressman Kevin Brady for Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner at a joint Economic Committee hearing just a couple of weeks ago. Today, our very own Liz Clayman interviewed the Secretary. Here's what Mr. Geithner had to say about critics like Congressman Brady.
People are going to disagree, and they'll disagree, and they should take a careful look at all the decisions we've made, and you'll never make everyone happy.
Action now from D.C. from the man who called for Geithner to step down, Representative Kevin Brady. Good to see you again, Congressman. So he's kind of taking the high road here, saying, you know, you were certainly within your rights to disagree with him. What do you think of what he said?
Well, look, I just think we need a fresh economic start. I think the job summit today was proof the president's looking for a new start. The job numbers tomorrow probably will show we've shed another 120,000 plus jobs. We are falling farther behind other countries, other developed countries, our major competitors in this economic recovery. So I just think the president needs that start. Maybe more important, Dave, the country needs a new economic start. It's not working.
But if you just kind of rearrange the deck chairs and it's the same ship going in the same direction, that won't change anything, will it?
Well, it may not, but I tell you what, the public, I think one of the biggest hurdles to economic recovery is that what Secretary Geithner said with you earlier about clarity. Businesses are scared. Washington is frightening them. Cap and trade, new energy taxes, new income taxes, new transaction taxes, new regulation, health care costs. Look, they're not making those key investments because they're frightened to do it. There is no reassurance, no certainty. I think one of the ways you could reset that reassurance is say, we're going to start anew. We're going to take a different look at this economy. That's what I would start with.
Well, you know, he has, it seems, learned a little bit in terms of how to deal in public relations. He did a little bit of that tonight when he was talking about the general confidence of the nation in the economy. Let's take a listen and get your response.
I think the American people need to understand that this is getting better. The American economy is healing, but there was a lot of damage done, and it's going to take some time. And we are going to do everything we can to make sure we're putting in place a stronger foundation for future growth and give Americans more confidence that they're going to, again, have financial security in the future.
That was kind of a reassuring message. We got to remember, after all, we were first introduced to the guy back a year ago when everybody was panicking, saying the house is on fire, the world's going to end. He's kind of calmed down. The message of confidence, don't you think it's resonating a little bit, or are people still worried?
Well, I think they're very worried. And one, you know, I don't oppose everything that the Secretary has done, clearly. But there's a disconnect. I mean, if you listen to local businesses, small and large, and listen to their fears about what Washington is doing and realize not just them, but their customers and clients are delaying those key business decisions, you see we've got a huge problem that won't be, won't be solved just by a few words. It's all this action we're scaring the horses. And I think, too, you know, I would agree with the Secretary, looking for ways I can find common ground. It's trade. The truth of the matter is our economy's not recovering well. Others are. There are a lot of new customers around the world, but America's on the sidelines. We're not pursuing those new customers and their new sales. And I think every week, every month, the President delays a trade agenda, delays bringing the pending trade agreements. We're losing jobs. In fact, we've got 250,000 jobs sitting there waiting for these trade agreements with Panama, Colombia, and South Korea. How can we ignore that?
Congressman, some people who are calling for a clean sweep say we got to get rid of Geithner, and we can't ignore the Fed, Ben Bernanke. We heard Senator Bunning today talk about that directly to Ben Bernanke. Let's listen to that.
Rather than making management, shareholders, and debt holders feel the consequences of their risk-taking, you bailed them out. In short, you are the definition of a moral hazard.
That's tough talk. That was even tougher than your talk towards Geithner. Do you think that Bernanke has to go as well?
No, businesses aren't frightened about the Fed. They're frightened about Congress, and they're frightened about Washington. I think the best way we can jumpstart it is to reassure them we're going to call a timeout on all the things that do frighten them up in Washington. We're going to find new customers. different apples and oranges, my view.
Congressman Kevin Brady from Texas. Good to see you again, Congressman. Thanks very much for being here. Coming up on deck,
Dave.
denials, lies, and cover-ups. Tiger-inspired power rankings are coming next. And we want to know what you think about the White House Job Summit. Is the summit a